It looked like Alyssa Thomas is hurt. Did Caitlin Clark get some justice from the gods from above? We don't know, but it looked very, very spooky with how she got hurt. I mean, she literally went down damn near in tears. Now, this is coming just on nearly 3 weeks after the attack that she put on Caitlin Clark.
Last week, everything changed because of one play. Caitlin Clark got hit very hard in the throat while both teams were fighting for a loose ball. The referees saw it happen with their own eyes, but they let the game keep going. There was no whistle, no pause, and nothing at all. A few hours later, the internet went crazy, and suddenly people were not talking only about basketball anymore. It became a big question about whether the WNBA was really doing enough to protect its biggest star. But then something happened that nobody expected. After the game, the league looked at the play again. They changed the call to a flagrant foul too. Alyssa Thomas was suspended for 1 game. That one decision showed everyone that the league believed the play was much more serious than it looked during the live game. If the hit was serious enough for a suspension after the game, many fans quickly started asking why the referees missed it in the first place. That was when the story took another unexpected turn.
I've worked in government for nearly 15 years, so I'm very limited government. I'm conservative. I've worked for Marsha Blackburn, Ted Cruz, and in the Trump administration, including the Trump White House.
Okay. Now, what caught your attention about Caitlin Clark?
Caitlin Clark has had a seismic impact on the WNBA ever since she first joined. Merchandise sales increased over 600%, league app engagement over 600%, subscriptions, the league passed over 400%, and the team she plays for, the Indiana Fever, tripled in value. But despite all that success that she's immediately had, the league has basically looked the other way as she's been targeted on a weekly basis, and that targeting is putting her career at risk.
A sports lawyer said in public that Clark has been getting hit hard again and again on purpose, and asked if the league had really done its job to give its players a safe place to work. Those comments brought a legal side to a story that had already become one of the biggest stories in sports. The lawyer was sharing opinions and legal arguments, not proof that any lawsuit had actually been filed. Then the league had another problem to deal with. Clark has become one of the WNBA's biggest stars. She brings more attention, more TV viewers, more merchandise sales, and more sold-out arenas. Now every controversial hit gets huge attention because millions of people are watching every single play. One missed call can suddenly become the biggest story in the whole sport. The WNBA changed the call after the game. The bigger question was why the call had to be changed at all. And that was only the start of where this story was going next. The suspension should have finished the story. Instead, it made the whole situation even more difficult to explain. After reviewing the video, the WNBA admitted the hit should have been called a flagrant foul too. That quickly made people ask another question. If the replay made the answer so clear, how did 3 referees miss it when they were standing only a few feet away? Then the pressure started coming from every side. Indiana Fever coach Stephanie White did not hide that she was upset after the game. She criticized the referees and asked why dangerous plays kept happening without any quick punishment. This was not the first time Clark had taken a hard hit that became one of the biggest talking points after the final buzzer.
At her toe? She's holding her toe or something? I believe she might have been holding her toe. Oh, wow. Let's read some of the comments. Some of the comments say, glad to see Caitlin Clark fans staying classy and laughing at injuries. Just be careful of that glass house. Not classy as Mercury posting stick figures, making fun of injuries. Eat ish. Whoa.
Every replay made the argument even bigger. Fans watched the video in slow motion. Sports shows played the clip again and again. Former players talked about it too. Suddenly, one single play became the biggest headline in women's basketball. The league finally changed the call. But the damage had already been done. That was when the lawyer's comments became even more important. The lawyer said the problem was much bigger than just one foul. The argument was that repeated hard hits, along with inconsistent refereeing, could raise questions about whether the league was giving one of its employees a reasonably safe place to work. Those comments were a legal opinion, not a court decision or proof that any lawsuit had been filed.
Whoa! That never happened. Left off. They were posting stick figures of DeWanna Bonner. But Fever fans are illiterate. So now we got other fans arguing with Fever fan. And like, I just want to let y'all know something. This is what they do online. That's why I don't engage in a lot of Twitter activity, because this is the circus that people like. Opposing fans, opposing people in the media like to target people on Twitter. I don't engage in any of this, but I'll read it. There was a contact, but it was Thomas getting away with an offensive foul. Somebody said, I'm no AT fan, but this is not a flop. You can see that she rolled her ankle.
But those comments pushed the whole conversation far beyond basketball. That was exactly what made the league officials feel uncomfortable. Basketball arguments usually stay on television. Legal arguments can move into conference rooms, company offices, insurance talks, and risk management meetings. Nobody who runs a professional sports league wants those kinds of conversations to become the biggest headline. But the timing made everything even worse. Clark keeps bringing huge TV audiences, full arenas, merchandise sales, and nationwide attention. Now every controversial whistle involving her reaches millions of viewers within just a few minutes. One missed foul turned into a suspension. The suspension turned into a legal discussion. And the legal discussion was about to grow into something much bigger. Nobody expected the conversation to reach this point.
And instead of staying playing it on the spin, in response, she falls backwards, taking the pressure off the ankle by lifting it and falling. Now, there is more footage, another angle of this injury that occurred here. I believe this is it here. And it looked like, here they come with the towels, because she's probably crying. Not big bad Alyssa Thomas. Crying. That hurt.
One hard foul had already turned into a suspension. Now, people were asking if the WNBA had created a much bigger problem for itself by waiting until after the game to take action. That opened a door the league probably hoped would never be opened. The lawyer explained that professional athletes are still employees. They work in a workplace. They have employers. They have safety rules. The argument was simple. If dangerous plays keep happening, and the league keeps failing to enforce its own rules, then serious legal questions could come next.
However, the concern is that resentment is then leading to targeting on the court. It's happening at a higher rate for Caitlin Clark than anyone else. And unfortunately, it's creating a textbook hostile work environment for Caitlin Clark. And under Title VII of the Civil Rights Act, the federal government does have an ability to engage here, should they so choose.
Again, those comments were legal opinions. No court has made a ruling on the issue. No lawsuit has been announced. But the discussion itself became the biggest headline. Then another uncomfortable idea came into the picture. If a lawsuit were ever filed, lawyers could ask for documents and messages through the legal process. That possibility made many people wonder what the league's internal records might show about referee reviews and league procedures. Whether that would ever happen depends on any future legal action, and no such case has been confirmed.
You said the federal government should get involved with this because Ms. Clark's civil rights are being violated as she is targeted on the court, the basketball court, and no one's protecting her. Is that what you're saying?
That's correct. A lot of people say it's sports, we should expect hard fouls, and I agree with that.
That possibility alone is enough to make any professional sports league pay close attention. Nobody likes having to explain their decisions while everyone is watching closely, especially when millions of fans believe the replay shows a different story. Now the business side becomes part of the conversation. Clark has helped bring record TV ratings, full arenas, and huge merchandise sales. She has become one of the league's biggest stars in a very short time. When the player bringing all that attention becomes the center of repeated referee controversies, every decision gets much more attention than it normally would.
About a foul called on her. It was the fourth technical foul this season, so that means WNBA is now to set a fine. Oh, wow. According to WNBA rules. So that was her fourth technical foul. Wow. Alyssa Thomas, it ain't looking good. It ain't looking good at all, bro. I just gotta be honest. Hold on, let's finish reading.
That creates pressure. Pressure from fans, pressure from TV partners, pressure from sponsors, and pressure from everyone watching. A basketball problem can usually disappear after the final buzzer. A business problem is still there the next morning. And what happened after all of this may have created the biggest problem yet for the league's leaders. Now the WNBA has one question it cannot keep avoiding. How do you convince everyone that the system works when one of the biggest plays of the season had to be corrected after millions of people had already watched it happen? That question refuses to go away.
For technical foul, according to WNBA rules, the first three each carry $500, while the fourth through seventh can carry $1,000. Every tech after that is punishable by a $1,500 fine and a 1-game suspension. The player also receives a warning letter from the WNBA, get out my face, pop-up.
The league punished Alyssa Thomas with a 1-game suspension after changing the foul to a more serious call. That decision ended the punishment process, but it did not end the debate. Instead, it started another round of questions about fairness, protecting players, and whether similar situations will be treated differently in the future. This matters because every game with Caitlin Clark now gets huge attention. Every whistle is looked at closely. Every replay is shared. Every missed call spreads across social media within minutes. The room for mistakes has become very small.
Warning letter from the WNBA after their fifth technical foul. Thomas most recently served as 1-game suspension due to the hit on Caitlin Clark on June 24th. During that contest, the Mercury forward made contact with Caitlin Clark's throat with her fist while the Fever guard was down. No foul was called on the play, but the WNBA reviewed it and retracted it, which we all know. It's a flagrant 2 foul. But it looked like Alyssa Thomas is dealing with ankle injuries.
Then the spotlight became even brighter. League officials now know that every major decision involving Clark will be compared with future situations. Fans want fairness. Coaches want fairness. Players want fairness. If the same type of contact gets different rulings, the controversy will simply start all over again. Nobody wins from that. Not the referees, not the players, and not the league. And definitely not the fans who just want to watch basketball instead of arguing about the rule book after every game. But this story leaves one final challenge. The legal opinions shared after the incident may never turn into a real court case. That is still unknown. What is already clear is that the conversation changed overnight. What started as one missed foul quickly became a discussion about player safety, league responsibility, and trust in refereeing. That is a much bigger problem to fix than just reviewing one replay. The WNBA now has a chance to show that it learned from what happened. From this point on, every game becomes another test. Every referee will face more attention. Every decision will be remembered.